Some vultures are black. Someone posed a question via email, and I don't know if this particular individual was asking for a response or not, but you're going to get a response without hopefully giving away who it is. The general question is, if everything is going well in your life, or in somebody's life, why do some individuals feel the need to create issues where none exist? Everything's going perfectly well. For instance, money's good, relationships relatively good, you're doing enough creative things, exercising, eating relatively healthy, fruits, veggies, so on, not eating out too terribly much. Anyway, why is it that some people must create problems when none exist? And this person was referring to a female specifically, although I don't think this particular problem is gender specific at all. It's just not. See, chess that problem doesn't exist in chess. Because in chess, there's always something to do. There's always something to understand. There's always work. Work is never done. Not in chess. Speaking of chess, I received a gift recently. From one of my work buddies' aunt and uncle. Glass chess set. I used to have a glass chess set as a kid. Haven't even opened it yet, but glass chess sets are pretty cool. Uh-oh, looks like there's already perhaps a piece missing. Maybe I'll open that up after I do this. So, why create problems? Or whip up character flaws in the other when everything's going well? Well, it's just your opinion that everything's going well. It's not actually going well. You know. This plant is doing pretty well after the kitty cats tried to smash it. Yeah. Puff pie is getting big. So I have the day off today. And I could potentially go down that same road if I wanted to. And I don't think it's usually an option. People are not thinking, oh, well, you know, here I am, I have some free time, so let's invent problems. I don't think that's necessarily how it works. It's possible that that's how it goes. But then that would be more of a sort of, let's creatively embrace the day in some sort of fashion, Sure, everything's fine, but wouldn't it be kind of fun to examine ourselves for character flaws and stuff like that, Or, let's solve the world's problems now that we have 10 minutes home alone. Why? Why must we invent problems? And are there any problems that are not invented? It's probably also another key point to address. Are there any problems that are not invented? Are there any sicknesses that are not invented? So if you can be home by yourself, possibly with a significant other, and y'all can just chill together, without inventing problems, then you're doing great. You're doing fantastic. Why do people do this? Existential angst is obviously one of the reasons. If somebody has never meditated a day in their life and all of a sudden they're presented with a situation where everything is financially taken care of completely and 100%, there's no interpersonal problems really. Family stuff is all doing fine. And now somebody has simply a whole day to themselves and perhaps with their significant other, and they have never addressed this whole elephant in the room called who am I? Right? You never even looked at that, never even examined it for 1 second of your life. Who am I? And I'm not saying that's a huge that's of import. I'm not saying you're necessarily better off if you've addressed the question. But if you have never addressed the question and you are presented with a day to yourself, that thing is going to assert itself in, a number of ways. One of which can be a feeling that comes up that is pushing one to look within, and maybe someone starts looking within and then they see or feel something that they don't like at all, so they need a distraction from that. And usually if there are two people in the room and one person is wanting to be distracted from something they don't want to look at, well, they're going to utilize the other person in the room to aid in that distraction. And usually if you're trying to engage someone in distraction of oneself, the easiest way to do it is to attack that person in some way, because that person is going to be less privy to knowledge that you are manipulating them if they're simply being attacked. If somebody's being attacked, then personal defense is first and foremost priority, and then trying to figure out if there was ulterior motive in this situation, or if there were some manipulation attempts in this situation, that would fall to second or third priority, following must defend myself, right? So that's a possibility, is that this person has never really looked at what it is that they are, who they truly are underneath, what is life all about, and so on. Because that idea will make itself known. It will be listened to at some point. If you have done everything that you need to do according to societal standards, you have enough money, you treat your significant other well, you take care of chores around the house, you fulfill your creative needs. At a certain point, once you've done everything and you're just sort of maintaining that day to day, if you have never looked within to find out this question of who am I, it will come out. It will come around. It will assert. And depending on how full your basement is, you hear some knocking, some rumbling downstairs, like hear a door flapping or something, and you think, oh, there's a basement. I didn't even know a basement existed in this house. So you go down there to look at it. You see the basement's like bulging out. It's like looking rotund. And, you're kind of worried about it. The door looks like it's about to explode. So you're presented with the idea that there is a basement and that perhaps something needs to be done about it. Well, for instance, if you remember that you have a significant other that's living in the house and you can utilize them to distract you from this new knowledge that a basement exists and maybe needs to be looked at or cleaned out or something, well, then you'll do that. You'll go use that person to distract yourself from the basement. This is my main idea about what's happening. It could also be that this person is just bored and it's fun to tease people. So pointing out character flaws is definitely a way of teasing. Otherwise, I guess a third option is that you and this other person are simply not very compatible, and the best way that you get along is when you're yelling at each other or picking each other apart. That's a possibility. The list goes on and on and on. Hi, Echo Baby. Oracle is massive. Oracle's gonna be bigger than Echo. Pretty sure. So yeah, thoughts. If you've never examined your interior state, at some point you probably will have to. Maybe that's the moral of the story. Thanks for hanging out. Peace!